The Sims team are coming for my bag, and yes, they may be the creators of the game that creates my bag, but they have started using my content. Not really, okay? This isn't a diss at the Sims team. They are purely excited to talk about their new pack, and that's exactly what they've been doing for Adventure Awaits. I have spoken about my recent frustrations about the amount of news that we get and also the many different directions in which the news can go, where it's posted. I think it's really, really messy. It seems like predominantly they're focusing on Discord right now, but I know not everyone likes Discord. It's kind of difficult to use until you get used to it. And then they've also been doing blog posts. They've also been tweeting. It's just kind of everywhere at the moment. I still always think that they need to like centralize and like actually have a dedicated space for all of this stuff, but I know different platforms work well for different things and how they want to create that. Anyways, enough of the yapping. Why don't we check out everything that you might have missed about Adventure Awaits, because it's been drip fed to you in many different places. Starting off with this right here, Camp Plumbob is here. Our online community event is filled with fun activities, challenges, and dev Q&As in the Sims Discord. I'm gonna leave a link to the official Discord down below. If you want to go check out any of this, then make sure you join the Camp Plumbob, which I will show you how to do, and then also check out the channels that I am going to suggest. On the 9th of September, they actually did a Q&A on Imaginary Friends that was held by SimGuru Nova, and then we had a Townies and Law Q&A actually drop on the 17th of September. Now, the Townies and Law, that is my bag. That is what I make a lot of my early access videos on. I tend to do like a world overview, which they have already technically stolen half of my content from that, because they've given us all the neighborhood information and they've given us all the lot sizes. Again, I'm not trying to hold a beef with the Sims team for talking about something that they're excited about, and I don't know, but it's usually quite a good thing if the team are like really excited about showing stuff off and like are this active and like actively wanting to interact with the community. Usually I feel those are the community's favorite packs when the devs are excited. They then also posted this, which is a blog post called Meet the Sims of Givy Point. I will also have a link to this in the description down below. Once you grab your grilled jellyfish from the welcome wagon, so new local dish that the welcome wagon will bring. Each sim has a story, some heartwarming, some peculiar, some tangled up in drama, but all share a love for play and adventure. Fitness is the Perry way. Whether you're just starting your fitness journey or pushing it to the limits, Frida Perry's world-class fitness retreat, Revive and Thrive, in Jellyfish Junction is the place to be. Spin bikes, free weights, classes, a schedule full of activities for all abilities. What really sets Revive and Thrive apart is Frida herself. Deep passion for helping Sims reach their potential, be it through exercise and wellness or friendship and connection. Has another full-time role caring for her grandson, Dougie. So I'm assuming this is Frida, this is Dougie. Dougie is an exceptionally bright kid, but unlike his grandmother, no social butterfly. He does enjoy catching glasswing butterflies when he can. Shy and slow to make friends, Dougie leans on Frida for companionship, but with her busy retreat, she can't always be by his side. Hoping to ease his loneliness, gifted Dougie an Imagine Me doll named Wild Child. Oh, yikes. I think Wild Child might have a little bit of an influence. Maybe she knew more than she let on, because that doll began to do much more than keep a watchful eye. Suddenly, Dougie had a partner in crime for friendly competitions, whether it was a game of rock, paper, scissors, or hide and seek. So kind of bringing Dougie out of his shell. Next, we have Nige, who was pretty much the sim that the trailer focused on, held together by a hyphen. That does not sound good for this family. If you want to explore the vast forests of Wonderwood Wilds or learn more about the land's rejuvenating qualities, look no further than Camp Givy director Nigel Chavez Ralston and his family, wife Sarah, and their twin daughters Erin and Aries. Sorry, I actually think that's Eris or Eris. I also never know if this name is Sarah or Sarah. Nigel is a true townie, having lived in Givy Point all his life, one of the three great great adventurers, along with the town storyteller Toshi Akamine and the lost explorer Rahil Kunal. Together, they spent their childhood exploring and mapping out Gibby Point. You can still find remnants of their tracks and treks through your own quests from the story map in the middle of Seabreeze Harbour, where you can usually find Toshi. Nigel loves nothing more than to share his knowledge of the land with anyone who's interested. His wife Sarah is obsessed with Gibby Point's electric array of butterflies, but it's her mastery in papercraft that wows the campers. Just as she is creative, she's a caring, devoted mother to her twin daughters, though the two may be at odds. She yearns to express herself, feels trapped by parental duties, and Nigel is more likely to be found tending to the camp than his home. Oh, Nigel, it ain't sounding good. Whilst their parents may be having trouble connecting, Erin and Eris are as tight as twins can be. Erin is the extroverted one that loves making new friends and participating in outdoor games, although she tends to get overly competitive from time to time. Eris may be introverted, but is a loyal friend to anyone she lets in. She also shares her mum's love for papercraft. These two can surely be seen together out on adventure or participating in one of the many activities. Are they actually going to be seen together though? Because I feel like that's what The Sims 4 lacks. Families actually going out together. Looking for even more adventures, the Lost Explorer Lakshmi Rahul's sibling is Gibby Point's very own butterfly conservationist. Greet them and they'll happily give you info on quests. For the lovebirds seeking romance, a little bit of competition, Jane and Star Adams' Love Highland in Crystal Valley is the perfect place for the romance challenge getaway. Young and intimate couple own and operate a rustic yet upscale getaway, serving as love coaches to the many, the word love coaches, at least to the ones that can get past their quirks. Jane is friendly, handy, and can whip up a delicious meal. She has a deep passion for the art of love, although her loyalty can quickly tip to jealousy if unchecked. Star is an excellent pianist and self-proclaimed love broker with charisma that lights up a room. She can also clear it with one of her erratic arguments. In addition to hosting romantic retreat, Adams also have a commune-style home where they host Sims looking for a getaway or find themselves. Red flag, red flag. Where's the guy with the red flag? It has all the amenities for self-improvement journey. That's how all cult movies starts though. Self-improvement journey in a luxury commune style. No. Plus shared spaces that encourage conversation and connection. You may run into a familiar face like our old friends Agora Chochki and Skip Baroque. He ran away. He's not dead. He just ran away to go on a retreat. Oh my goodness. And Dustin Broke is in The Sims 4. Actually didn't get famous. Looks like you've got some explaining to do, Skip. I mean, Brandy isn't in the game. So maybe if Dustin goes to the Love Highland retreat though. The friendly, playful, and the strange hate. Full of mystery and lore, no two Sims reflect the world's strange past than Buddy, Scoop, and Pruella, Plumbird. Buddy is a child and a member of the elusive Scoop family. Elusive because Buddy is the only Scoop you'll actually encounter in public. Mischievous little lad has been repeatedly caught investigating the mines, but can often be found selling or trading his unique collectibles at the table outside of the mine's entrance. Also surprisingly fast hand at rock, paper, scissors. The little Plumbobs that now scurry around Gibby Point were once much larger. Lots of speculation around how and why they shrank, but the fact of the matter is they no longer exist until one day a Sim named Pruella chose to become one, honoring the memory and spirit of the beloved species. Locals thought the large Plumbob returned, which soon turned into campfire fables of a fearsome beast watching over Gibby Point. Oh, when you're referred to as a fearsome beast. But when Pruella's secret came out, so did she. You can now see her interacting with neighbors at events like the Roundfire Festival. That's like that dude who acts like a giant black cat around the UK. Spreading messages of kindness and positivity. I don't believe them. I believe she is here to peck their eyeballs out, actually. You may even encounter a Sim or two that's following her talon-etched path. And then, obviously, Camp Plumbob on Discord, which is what I am in right here. Obviously, here, as you can see, we got the Townie and Laws Q&A and the Imaginary Friends Q&A. Camp Plumbob, technically these aren't actually listed. These are just in The Sims 4, so I don't actually know if you'll need to sign up for anything, but here you also have the flagpole, the campfire, the craft camp, join camp, camp map, etc. I'm fairly sure if you go to channels and roles, I've chosen The Sims 4 and My Sims. I also have announcements, game news, and feedback opportunities. Here you can also like choose which channels you actually see. You have the options to like follow a category, you can view these or like get rid of them, which is quite handy. So just make sure you're checking out the right ones. I'm on the Imaginary Friends Q&A because that was the first one that actually happened, and someone has actually done a summary. I really wish that they would start making use of pinned messages. Please, Sims team, either pin all of Molly's answers or like pin the summary. However, in the top right corner, you can't see it right now because I just don't want you to see like usernames, just in case people don't want that in a video. I am going to type in summary, or I think someone spelled it with an E. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they did spell it correctly. This is the summary right here. It's by Summer Black Lives Matter. Q&A summary. What age can we make imaginary friend real? Once your child sim that made an imaginary friend ages up to a teen, if they were good enough friends with their imaginary friend, they can offer to make real on the doll, which allows them to turn their imaginary friend into a real teen sim. So only when they are a teen. It's not like The Sims 3 where you can turn an imaginary friend into a child sim, which feels weird. But I mean, not surprising for The Sims 4, considering kids can like barely do anything in this game. I'm not going to go through all of these, by the way. I'm going to probably go over like the most important. Yes, they become fully real. They actually become real Sims. I'm assuming they just join your household like The Sims 3. I am actually going to have a video up probably on Wednesday going back and playing Sims 3 Imaginary Friends, just to kind of jog everyone's memory. Each of the 4 will have a unique made real look that's consistent with their original, and then we actually got a photo of what they look like. So this is kind of the default one down here, and then this is what he turns into. Then you have like the unicorn one, Pegacorn, I'm assuming, considering she's also got wings, and this is what she looks like. You got the creepy like stitched one, and this is what she looks like. I love that they kept the birthmark on her arm. That is so flippin' cute. Also love these socks. Oh my goodness, obsessed with those. Love this crop top as well. And then you have this one who I'm fairly sure is like inspired by a void critter, and this is what he looks like. I would say probably out of all of them, he looks like traditionally most, I feel like, how the Sims 3 ones looked. 2 boys, 2 girls, but obviously once they turn into a real sim, you can go into CAS full edit mode and you can change them to be whatever you want them to be. Befriend them as a child, age them to a teen, offer to make real on the doll. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's going to be any challenge to turning them real, which again, really unfortunate because The Sims 3 had a difficulty to turn them real. You either had to find a potion on the little like potion maker, or you had to actually find a really, really rare gem that took forever and take that to the science lab. Whereas, of course, in The Sims 4, everything is easy. All you have to do is be its friend. Children will get a variety of different interactions with their imaginary friends. Others will just see them talking to no one, so exactly like it worked in The Sims 3. I'm assuming when you click on like another family member, etc., they imaginary friend will just like disappear and it'll be like they're talking to thin air. You can't turn those teddy bears into imaginary friends, which actually there is a new event coming that includes one of those new teddies, and they kind of made it feel like it was an imaginary friend because you can like take it out and about and like take photos with it, but it's not an imaginary friend. So don't worry, none of the previous stuff are imaginary friends. It's just these 4. By default, the imaginary friends have following personalities. Little Monster is a goofball. Maybe it's all in the same order. So this one's Little Monster Goofball. This one is Pretty Pegacorn Evil. I like that they've chosen like the pretty one to be the evil one. Crafty Kid Creative. I mean, she does have paint splotches on. I feel like most people probably assumed that she was the evil one one. We've seen the pre-Pegacorn in that state of like where they're tall, but they're still their toy. I really want to see these two in that form as well. They might not have shown it in this thread. They might not want to give too much away. And then Wild Child competitive, which does make sense if he is based on a Void Critter, because, you know, competition, Void Critter cards, etc. These, however, can be customized before turning the doll into the imaginary friend. Any doll can have any personality, so you're not linked to anyone, which is quite nice. It means you can tell the stories that you want to tell using the doll that you have. Is it a build buy object, or does your child get them when they're a kid, like in The Sims 3? So you just buy these in build mode, which again, not every kid I feel like spawned with an imaginary friend in The Sims 3 Generations, especially if you like created a kid in Create a Sim and took them into the game. The likelihood of them having an imaginary friend was super low. They like physically had to be either born in game or like adopted as a baby. Again, kind of just making it easier. Are the adults able to parent the imaginary friend? When you turn them into a real teen sim, they join the household, but as a roommate. Okay. I doubt that means like a roommate in the traditional sense of The Sims 4. I don't actually honestly play with roommates. I probably should do that because I have no idea what they do nowadays. You can adopt them into the family if you wish. They will have a randomized name for a fresh start as a real sim. Oh, I wish that they just kept the name that you gave them. You can always change and create a sim to your heart's desire. They're invisible to all other Sims. They will just see the doll sitting on the ground, which I think that's the way that it worked in The Sims 3. They don't have any special powers, no special trait. They are in fact just a regular Sim. They're not an occult, which is kind of disappointing. I kind of wish that they maybe had tied like a trait to like the spawn of imaginary friends, kind of with like the Grimborn. Even though I know that Grimborn is currently broken. Personality will shape their entire set of interactions with the child. Interesting. So they have different like ways of talking to them depending on their personality. We'll recommend different activities to do together based on their personality. Creative, recommend arts and craft. Competitive, recommend activities or competitive ones like video games. Evil will recommend mischief and other bad behavior. If you have an evil one, the child can practice mean interactions on them, strengthening their relationship. The evil will love it and encourage it. If the child heeds the advice, they will gain budding evil persona trait, which might allow them to discover the evil trait when they age up to a teen, if they so choose. So it is like they're having influence. Oh, so you can actually just keep the doll around as well if you are a young adult or elder. But I don't think that means that they'll have like, I don't think they can remain in like the imaginary friend state. Human form outfits are unlockable in Create Sim if made real, or if you cheat it. You can only have one at a time. So one imaginary friend per sim. The child always has the option to say goodbye forever, and you can purchase a new doll to switch it up. But how could you? That's so mean. That's like picking up a pebble or like a shell or like a toy in a shop and then putting it back down, thinking it got chosen. Oh, so there is a requirement to make them into an imaginary friend. I'm assuming this is like turning the doll into that state where they are still a doll, but they're like a tall version, like a real life version. Creativity level 3, befriend the doll as you play with it or talk to it, and then or by suffering from loneliness. Can you order one as a gift from the phone or a computer? Not a fan of buying direct. You could make it a story with a retail store. So that's a no, you can't buy it online. Personality and names can be personalized until you make them into an imaginary friend. Once they're imagined up, they are locked into that name and personality. You can always change things around once they age up to a teen if made real. Okay, so I think they do still carry the name with them. This is confusing. Cross-pack compatibility with the suggested items. For example, the creative might choose cross-stitching. So that's it for the Q&A on the imaginary friends. And then we also have the townies one as well, which I don't think I'm going to focus on this too much because I am fairly sure they probably don't have the summary up. And I wish that they had like pinned, but again, they have not. not. And there's also 2 devs in this, so searching is also gonna be strange. There is also one coming up on the 1st of October, which is about getaways, but isn't that like a few days before the pack releases anyway? Honestly, there's too much happening around that time. That comes out the 2nd of October, so does Critical Role Campaign 4, and then Taylor Swift's new album comes out on the 3rd of October. I am eating, and then also the Pokemon game comes out like the week after. It's wild. Givy Point is inspired by a few areas, isn't direct representation, it's not a direct parallel, but I'm fairly sure it's based on New Zealand. NPCs don't have any set roles in festivals, however you'll see some around taking part in the festivities, might show up in roles by chance. No infants or toddlers, child sims and up, which makes me think we're not getting much gameplay that is going to be tied to those younger. I don't even think it was mentioned in the Q&A whether toddlers can have imaginary friends, which I kind of hope they would, considering they could have them from being a baby when in The Sims 3. Some sentiments between each other. Yes, I would like to see them have cross-pack and sentiments. I want them to have cross-pack relationships. Ooh, Nigel and Raheel aren't close anymore. Toshi doesn't really date. Would you guys ever have considered working with Simmers to possibly make townies? Please, I beg, I would love it. Nigel is a little single-minded about the camp stuff and it's alienated people. No father-son relationship with Dustin Broke, wanted to keep it open. Costume is fully locked to Pruella. Using existing crystals. I'm gonna assume that's in response to like, are there new crystals in the like panning? Ooh, there are different sets of quests. Butterfly Conservationist quests. Lakshmi can be found in Wonderwood Wilds, have a quest relating to butterflies. World quest Toshi can be found in Jellyfish Junction. There's a special story map, 3 world quests to complete, unlocks a special geezer thing and also the ability to get small bits of gossip from townies. You can finish the map when done. That's kind of like Island Living. It's giving like the cave map. And then Plumbird quests, you get these off Pruella's nest in Crystal Valley. Completing these will unlock 2 special interactions with Pruella, super hug and share feelings. I'm actually gonna wrap it up there because I don't want to know too much about the townies. Being so for real, I want to explore it myself. Of course, in my world and townie overview that I always do here on my channel. So definitely keep an eye out if early access is going to be a thing this time around. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I hope you can also find these on the Discord if you choose to like look for them. Make sure that you go to that like browse channels and like make sure they're selected, and they are called the Townies and Laws Q&A and also the Imaginary Friends Q&A. I wish that they would pin the responses just so we could see like all the answers in one space. The summary was quite good, but alas there isn't one for the Townies and Law yet. I feel like it is probably going to be coming over the next few days. Let me know what you're excited about, maybe what you're not so excited about, of course what you would like me to explore in more depth in my videos for this new pack, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.